Okay, everybody, welcome to the glide slope. Welcome to our first real X-plane flight. And I've done a couple of trial flights, but now I figure it's time to take a real flight. So we're here at John Wayne Airport. This is just going to be a short flight to see what the scenery looks like. This is default scenery. I downloaded some freeware senior libraries to make some of the smaller airports look better. And as far as I know, though, this is the stock John Wayne out of the box. So you can see there's lots of airplanes sitting here on the ramp. I've just watched a couple of 737s take off and go by, but we're going to fire up the Cessna 172 here and take a flight. I've downloaded HD Mesh for this part of the world and also a improved CV package, which should make this sort of more the equivalent of having Vector and Orbix. Of course, I don't think anything can be as good as Orbix SoCal in terms of real textures, but it also hammers frame rates. So we'll see what this does, and we'll fire up the old 172 here. Hear the airplane spinning up, beacon on, fuel pump on, mixture's rich, feet on the brakes. There we go. Just our trim. Back it off to 1,000 RPM. ATIS here is 126.0, avionics.
Orange County, John Wayne Information Charlie. 2100 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility 8. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -6. Altimeter 3003. Arriving and departing runways 02 left, 02 right. Advise on initial contact you have Charlie.
Okay. And we won't talk to ground, but we'll just tune in to the tower just to see if we hear anything here. We're going to be going out here on 2 left, I think. So let's just see what tower has to say, 119.9, in case they're talking to anybody. I haven't played with the air traffic control system at all. Who knows, maybe something happens when you put in ground. Let's see, 120.8. I doubt it. I can hit the talk to ATC switch and see what it says. Gives me a chance to file a flight plan, request altimeter, request clearance, request taxi. I guess I have to file a flight plan first. KSNA to KSNA. You're learning this in real time with me, ladies and gentlemen. En route altitude 2,500. So I guess I have to file a flight plan before I can talk to them. I could request altimeter.
November 15 Juliet Golf Kilo Sierra November Alpha altimeter 3003.
Kilo Sierra
I
November
guess that's me reading back the
altimeter
transmission.
3003 November 15 Juliet Golf.
Yeah. And then I'm not quite sure how I request clearance and the rest, but anyway, we'll mess with that another time. But the bottom line is, it sounds like it's got an ATC system. I don't think ATC on this or AI is good as what you can get in the FSX prepared world, but there's always the hope for improvement. Comparisons to prepared while we're at it. First of all, the sceneries and the airports and everything else looks just as great as prepared. I flew into some small airport the other day and was disappointed that it was sort of empty, and I downloaded the prefab airports package and it populated it with hangars and buildings and stuff, and apparently does that for 2,000 airports, which is cool. Our taxi lights while we're at it. This obviously looks great. I mean, we've got power lines and airplanes sitting all over the place, cars at the ramp. Second, the motion of the airplane, just how it moves around, bounces on the tarmac and those kinds of things, feels a lot more realistic here for me than prepared. We'll go make our takeoff here. We won't ask anybody for permission, just look and make sure there's nobody coming. 3 frame rates. My frame rates are running pretty consistently between 20 and 25, which sounds slow, but really feels very smooth in this. I don't notice a lot of stutters, some, but not a lot, and certainly very, very flyable, and I have every expectation as they get the beta finished and they get to release, it will become more smooth. And then weather. The clouds in default X-Plane look terrible, and there's no real-world injection, but there's a program called X-Enviro that I was able to get my hands on, and it was $70, which is expensive for an add-on, but produces great weather with realistic injection and great sky textures. I've talked about that in the previous videos. And we're off and flying. Adjusting my trim here. It's trimmed way too much. Not great visibility in Los Angeles today, as you can see. But with a flick of the mouse at the plug-in, I can make the conditions clear. At least I'm supposed to be able to. There we go. Because the haze has been a complaint in X-Plane 11. There we go, clear conditions. Have just a little bit of haze in the distance. Elevated highways down there on the left. The highways have highway signs. Power lines here. We'll make a turn to the north. Some pretty detailed transmission lines down there, a variety of trees. Frame rates here look a little slow. That could be because of the new vector scenery that I put in. I'll check into that. But it looks great. Oh, we just loaded weather. Okay, so the weather is loaded. Got some high cirrus clouds, some limited visibility. There we go. And this looks good. Now I've run with really max settings with the lower vector graphics, and obviously I've lost some frames in loading all this up. Again, it's Los Angeles. It's the densest place we could be. And I would probably back off the sliders on scenery model items here. But I would already say that the additional high definition mesh scenery and the
November,
new textures.
01 X-ray, Papa, runway 2 left, taxi via Alpha, hold short of runway 2 left.
There we go. It's
Runway 2
big improvement.
left, taxi via Alpha, hold short of 2 left, November, 01 X-ray, Papa.
And if we want to make it a little bit closer to sunset, make it 1541 local. I was told you can scroll through time just by holding down the shift key and some other key, but I haven't tried that yet. Haze off there on the left looks great. Sun is setting over the Pacific there. So this is, I think, a significant improvement over the default. The default wasn't bad. The default was fine. But this, the high def mesh certainly has given the vector road network and all the buildings and everything has made it more realistic. Now you can also put orthographic, I think is what it's called, or orthogonal. Anyway, I'm learning my way around this stuff. You can put high definition photo scenery underneath these things, and unlike prepared, it will put If you use something like World 2 XP, which has
November 03
all the street level graphics, right?
2 left. Taxi via
it will put the
runway 2 left.
It will put the
runway 2 left.
I'm gonna have to turn that down.
Alpha. Hold short of 2 left. November 03 X-ray. Papa.
It will actually put autogen on top of the photographic scenery, which is obviously the ultimate in realism, and that's something you were never able to do, as far as I know, in Prepared, although I understand the guys at Night Environment are working on something like that. Here I just have it on increased textures or improved textures. Coming out close to the ocean now. Make it a little later here. Let's get right. I think it was Shift L and Shift K changed the time, maybe? Yep. Look at that. We'll make it right after sunset. So we're over the Los Angeles Basin, Catalina Islands out there. Looks like we've got an aircraft carrier out there in the bay. Aircraft carriers have been a part of X-Plane for a long time. Used to be aircraft carriers in Flight Sim X, if I remember correctly, back in the day. Wow, that looks great down there. You've got red lights and green lights. That looks fantastic. But yeah, it looks like there's a carrier out there. Go try carrier landing in the Cessna. And if we want to make it a little bit later, deepest dark of night, we'll go to night operations here in the sim. And all without skipping a beat. I would turn my fuel pump off. SciTech panels are running with SPAD Next. They have an X-Plane edition. They're running without any problem. The FIPs. I had to do a little programming to
November.
Get these to turn, but that was easy in SPAD. You just tell it.
Contact tower on 119.9er. November 01 X-ray. Papa.
In SPAD, you just change the. You can program them. And I was having a conflict with the switch panel, and so I deactivated it in SPAD, and I've been running a free switch panel plug-in, which works great and makes them work fine. Let's continue our transformation of time and space here, shall we? Oops, sorry about that. I think it was Shift L and Shift K that did that. Maybe when it gets to midnight, it doesn't let me do it anymore. Oh, there we go. We'll go to some sunrise textures. I'm not really giving X Enviro time to load new textures as I'm doing this. Here it is, dawn over Los Angeles. The shoreline certainly looks far better than it did before I loaded the vector graphics. There's beach down there. vector graphics, meaning the high definition mesh. And some of the things I think it does so extraordinarily well are just all the light reflections off the aircraft, off the cowling. And again, you know, this has got to be the most intense scenery I could have in terms of default, and my frame rates are good. Not perfect, but they're good. An extra 4 or 5 would be fine, and all you need to do is dial the auto gen down a notch. I'm sure that that would take care of that, because I have it on maximum. So that all looks pretty good. I can see John Wayne out there in the distance. Maybe we'll go back. No, there's a landing right over here we can do. Let's do a night landing, shall we? Looks like the moon was out there. The moon texture didn't look very good, but we can fix that. All right, I saw a strip out here. One of the things I like is the strips actually flash a green and white beacon, much more like they do in the real world. Here's a place, a patch up here where we can land. Now one thing I can do is if I want to dial down the auto gen a notch, not hard to do. Graphics. Let's take our number of objects down to medium. It'll take a second to load. While that's going on, we can try to figure out what airport that is out there that we're going to land at. That is probably going to be probably Long Beach, or maybe Zamperini. I'll have to look. Yeah, those frame rates are immediately better. So I'll dial back the auto gen, and the frame rates immediately got improved. We can see how the visuals look here and do a little compare and contrast. So a lot less at auto gen. Significantly less. Los Angeles looks pretty bare, but my frame rates are very, very high. The nice thing is at night, oh, I don't want to turn on soft keys. The good news is that at night it doesn't really matter. And I can see more of the underlying textures. We'll just pop this into here. Okay, let's go land here. That looks like Long Beach in front of me. I can just see the Vazzy. Without those high-def textures, the frame rates were a little bit better. Felt like maybe 5, frames a second better. Oh, there's the outer indicator lighting. That's good. So we're at the initial approach fix for, or the first ILS fix here, which is good. It didn't play the beacon noise, but I might have that volume turned down. in the cockpit. First notch flaps. Whoa, wasn't ready for that, wasn't paying attention. Fuel pump on, landing lights on. Retrim the aircraft, next notch of flaps. A little high on the glide slope, that's okay. Just kill some throttle. A lot of air cars moving around down there. Airspeed's pretty good. Final flaps. Butt kicker's working great. See the hill going by on the left there. It's got towers on top with red flashing beacons. That's a nice touch. 70 knots, that's right where we want to be. A little low. One thing you don't miss that I notice all the time in P Prepared was loading of scenery tiles. That just doesn't happen with this. It doesn't need to because it's got full access to memory. I've never seen it. Now it just loaded a bunch of lights out there far in the distance. So I can see that happen once in a while, but I never notice autogen popping in. I never notice tiles resolving into a higher resolution. And it's one of the reasons for me it feels so much more immersive. Here we come. Over the fence at 65, right where we should be. See my landing lights starting to pick up the runway. That also is much more realistic looking than in Prepared. Ride a wheelie for a second. That's fun. I had commented about the screech sound. I didn't have the right sound files loaded with the airplane I'd customized. I got all the right files in the right folders, and now the screech sound is gone, and it's in a more appropriate screech sound. So here we are at someplace, Zamperini, I think, Long Beach. And that is a little sense of how things are looking so far in this simulator. Looks like we've got a taxiway over here. Somewhere. Here we go. So, what's my initial thoughts? Without X Enviro, the weather would have been a strong sense of, we had a frame stutter there, strong sense of dissatisfaction for me. That has solved that. Without me being able to get the visuals right, it was a no-go because the whole point is to be immersive, and now I've got that fixed and looking great. I'm eager to have more realistic GA air traffic more than anything else because I do a whole bunch of GA flying. But I've only noticed it once or twice. I flew into Harrisburg in the sim the other day and was confronted with a 747 sitting there, and you know there would never be a 747 at Harrisburg in a million years. So I'm hoping that that will come with some kind of an add-on or something in the near future. But I love little other details, the way the airplane moves here while we're taxiing. It's very realistic looking and feeling to me. The fact that the windsocks work and they look real is great. The night lighting is spectacular. And in X-Plane 11, the way they render just colors, render light generally, I mean, the way the blue lights are reflecting off the side of the bottom of the wings here is amazing. And then on top of that, the flight model is really, really realistic. So for me, a guy who flies a lot of GA, now that I've got good vector, which was free, now that I've got all kinds of libraries of awesome AutoGen objects, which were all free, now that I've got texture remapping very similar to Orbix, although not at the same quality, which was also free, I gotta tell you, it looks pretty great. I've got no idea where I'm going here. I'm lost at Long Beach. Where's the tower? Tower's way over there. So I gotta tell you, I haven't tried Pilot Edge with it yet. So I'm hopeful that that's all gonna be seamless for me. But the fact of the matter is the guys who built Pilot Edge are huge X-Plane guys. So I have every reason to believe that that's gonna be seamless also. So, if it's me, and I'm thinking about giving the beta a try, it's a no-brainer. I think every simmer who's really interested in what they're doing and how they're doing it deserves to give the beta a try, and should give the beta a try. It's a demo, fly it, see if you like it. You know, you can only have to fly it for a little while, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to fly it anymore. As for me, I went ahead and I bought the full thing, and I'm glad I did. If you have a home cockpit like mine and you're trying to figure out, see, look at those textures come up as the light's starting to come up. Wow, that looks great. No, I don't want to do soft keys, Windows. Sticky keys, I mean. It's to me well worth. It's well worth trying. I mean, now that we can get the screen configs right, I have to tell you, now that I was able to move the wings forward in the airplane and do the stuff that I do, this to me now feels, I mean, the wings are exactly where they should be for the Cessna 172. The cowl looks just right. Sorry, my driving, I'm going a little fast here for the old 172 SP. I mean, for me, it looks like I always wanted it to look. I'll be curious to see how easy it is for me to get other airplanes set up the way I want them to be set up, but now that I've done it once, I don't think it'll take too much time. So, all that being the case, I think X-Plane 11 is a winner. I don't see anybody coming, so we'll just taxi right down the center of the runway here. And I can't wait to see what happens next between what the community is able to do and what the developers are able to do. Remember, everything that you're seeing is a beta, right? That means something. Little quirks, I can't get both yokes to work and controls yet. Apparently they conflict. That'll obviously be something they fix. But now that I've spent a couple days figuring it out, I'm very excited about it, and I'm excited to see what I can do next with it. So there's a flight on the glide slope, and thanks for watching. If you have questions, please go to the website. I've answered a lot of them there. Lots of resources there for you too. www.ontheglideslope.net. In addition to that, I've got, well, there goes some airplane traffic departing Long Beach. In addition to that, I've got a post that I wrote today that details how I got all the screen configurations to work. And that should be helpful if you have a setup like this or similar to it and you're trying to figure out how to get the side views to go the way you want them to go. Okay, so there you go. Initial review, X-Plane 11. I'm a fan. And I haven't logged open P3D, and I don't know that I will anytime soon, to tell the honest truth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next flight.